Whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, get my album of tennis instruction.
That's a classic. I'm not sure how many they sold.
Nuke, welcome to Cinema Sessions.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
50 years since that iconic win over Jimmy Connors. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got vision of it here for you.
Yeah. My yellow shirt looks good. And, yep, service action is still there. That's the forehand volley that's on the Australian Open coin, for the coin toss.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
This was a hot day.
it was a pretty hot day. I knew at the start of the match, it was going to be a brutal match. It was going to be tough. It was against Jimmy. I think that might have been, this might be the game there where I was actually serving for the fourth set.
And he had been the defending champion at this point. You won in 73.
Yeah, and Jimmy won the year before. Very fierce looking.
Yeah, that's a classic Jimmy Connors face.
He still gets upset with me about that. That was in the tiebreak, I think, when Jimmy was a point ahead. Still got the energy to jump over the net.
The Australian support especially, obviously Jimmy Connors has this huge personalities. I think the commentator at one point calls him irritable. You just know that he's never going to back down. What did it mean to you that day at Kooyong to have the support you did and to come away with the win?
Well, I knew I'd have a fair bit of support. The match had been built up over the 2 weeks of the tournament. Everybody was hoping for a Jimmy Connors against myself final, as I was. He was the brash young guy that had come up and had finished up the year number one, and I was number two. So I love that shot, seeing that backhand again.
And this is the era too where he's got a metal racket in his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you're still playing with a wooden racket.
Yeah, he played with that Wilson 2000. A lot of players started playing with it, but he was the only, and then they gave it away. He was the only one that seemed to be able to play with it.
Okay, so then the next year the script is flipped a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're back in the final, 76. What was Mark Edmonson? Essentially an unknown. He was ranked outside the top 200.
Mark had come up and he'd played a terrific tournament. He was playing really well. It was a very, very hot day, and then it got so windy we had to stop play for a while. Yeah. Edo did extremely well, to get to the final. And
There's the wind.
Yeah, you can see the wind blowing there. I'd actually, that year, I'd actually had a, that wasn't very that was not very friendly, Edo. I'd had knee surgery halfway through the previous year, and I felt I had to play because I was the defending champion, so I played. I didn't feel like I was 100% fit, but anyway, in this match you got to give credit to Edo because he played a blinder.
Yeah, he beats Ken Rosewall in the semis.
That's right.
Even to get into this final against you.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to watch back this footage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't have as clearer memories on this match as I do the one against Jimmy. Of course, I can't remember Edo wore that coloured shirt.
Huh.
So I don't have as many clear memories on that match.
Yeah, maybe blacked it out a little bit.
As others.
We've got some, this footage is incredible, but if you're happy to, speaking about you and Rochi and the partnership, not only at the Slams, but in Davis Cup, you and Tony Roach, you really became two icons of Australian sport.
Yeah, I'm as proud of my doubles record as I am of my singles record, and playing with Tony was great because all I had to worry about was my half of the court, and I knew Rochi could handle his half of the court. I always think of Rochi like a rock, and he's the type of guy that if you're in a war, you'd like him beside you. This was in Brisbane against Orantes and Santana.
Wow.
1967, and I think we won it in straight sets. But it was pretty hot up there. Brisbane used to get
a little steamy.
Very humid.
Yeah. What do you think the doubles game, especially? I watched these highlights of you guys with the wooden rackets. It was almost a thinking man's game of chess.
Yeah, he didn't have the same power. This one's against, I think, Santana and Aria again Spain. Another win. So I have more good memories of that match.
Wanted to show you some of the more recent Australian doubles success.
Yeah.
This was 2022.
Kokonaks and Kyrgios really got the crowds behind them in that tournament, as have our other doubles players, and it just shows you that the crowds will come out for good doubles.
Yeah, Rinky and Jason just last year.
Yep. Look at this rally. That was to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Here's Storm Hunter just in the near court with Siniakova. Stormy, of course, reached world #1 in doubles as well.
Gosh, I hope she comes back from her injury okay.
Yeah.
She had a terrific year. She was just getting better and better as the year went on. So let's hope that her recovery is good. I like the way she plays. Also like the way she really enjoys herself out there. That's good to see.
Okay, we've got an old advert for you. It seems like you really understood that you were not only a sports person, but that you could brand yourself. You had the stash. You were entering into this era where, tennis was being marketed probably in a new and a different way. Did you learn as you go? How did you understand being not only a sports person, but also someone who could be out there in media and culture?
It was fun.
Yeah. All right, let's watch some of the fun. This is a K-Tel ad. Curious if you remember this one.
K-Tel presents Tennis with John Newcombe, an exciting new concept in tennis instruction from the world's best, John Newcombe.
On this album from K-Tel, you'll hear my detailed instruction on how to play the world's fastest growing sport, tennis.
Listen to John Newcombe explain the secret of an effective backhand and a powerful, controlled forehand drive. How to develop a strong volley and net game. And the all-important serve is explained in great detail. Pointers on proper footwork and balance. Strategy for doubles or singles. Imagine what an hour of tennis instruction from the world's best could do for your game. Get Tennis with John Newcombe, plus his booklet of tennis tips, $4.99. Tape, $6.99.
Whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, get my album of tennis instruction and booklet of tennis tips. Be a part of the world's fastest growing sport, tennis.
That's a classic. I'm not sure how many they sold. And people wouldn't have anywhere to play them these days anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty up with the times, right? And even actually still now, there's these sort of online tip guides. So you guys were 50 years ahead of it.
Oh, right.
Why did you say you enjoyed the identity part? You said, why was it enjoyable for you? Because some people really don't like that side.
Early on in my career, when I started winning a fair bit and was getting a lot of notoriety, it became quite difficult for me because we had 3 kids and we'd go to the beach or something and people would always be coming up and wanting to talk to me, or if I went into a restaurant, and I became quite unhappy with the whole situation. And finally I just said to myself, look, I either enjoy this or stop playing tennis, get out of it. So I just decided to enjoy it and go with the flow, so to speak, and that's what I did, and didn't worry about those things anymore. It was still a little bit daunting, when you'd walk into a restaurant and people would turn up and they'd be looking at you. So, but you got into a habit of looking down at the ground.
The last thing, Nuke, I want to ask you about is 50 years on since that Jimmy Connors win. You've had anniversaries in your career, but what sort of stands out? What's special about 50 years on from that victory that we just watched?
That I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's one piece of it.
You know, any time you can win a Grand Slam, it's such a thrill to be able to do it, and such an honour, especially as a 10-year-old kid. You know, I dreamt of playing at Wimbledon and playing Davis Cup for Australia, and that was about it. I hadn't dared to dream about, you know, winning Grand Slam tournaments. Yeah. So when they all started to happen, it was a real bonus.
Well, thanks for coming into the cinema and taking us down memory lane. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nuke.
Pleasure to be here. A lot of fun.
Yeah.